Because he knows you are here. We started yesterday and we prayed to Jesus Christ very marvelously using John 17:5. Oh Father, it is time to glorify your Son. And then somebody has already prayed and you are feeling like one who wants to grab everything immediately. Yet you are not wrong to have such expectation of taking your blessing soul. You have prayed, but you know that it depends on God to answer you. And then you see the problem most of us now, as we have prayed yesterday, glorifying your Son. Then we want it to be the way we want. If it is the way you want, that means it's not the glory of God. It may be the glory coming from elsewhere. And that is why the anchor passage today, taken from Facebook of King chapter 19, Elijah of all persons is on the run. Somebody say, you will not understand. Elijah is on the run. Who was he running away from? Jezebel. Why is he running away? Because Jezebel got the way of what he did. How he slayed for 50 prophets of Baal. A man that slain on his own 450 prophets that were brought into the land of Israel by Jezebel. Now that Jezebel is looking for him and he's running away. Instead of going, so that what happened to the 450 prophets of Baal coming from Jezebel, we happened to Jezebel. But he started running away. You see, a man of God, a man that commanded fire, and God was fire. And the fire consumed the sacrifice, even beat up the water. That is what you and I read yesterday. 4 Kings chapter 18, verse 38. And today, one woman that is so troublesome, that is architect of evil, a devil incarnate, God knew of all this Elijah has done. Elijah started running away. The mistake of Elijah today is that he forgot that it was not by his own strength that he conquered destroy the prophet of Baal. Before you quickly condemn Elijah, you are the Elijah. I am the Elijah. We quickly want to condemn everything. We quickly want to allow fear to make us to forget the blessings of past. And even when we tell you that only our helpers and our helpers, this fright that is coming now, this fear that is coming now, it didn't actually start from me. The gift was in there in my life. No! That is the case of Elijah. Somebody that conquered pray as if to say today, tomorrow, and pray that all the prophecies you receive during your beginning with Jesus Christ prayer in the month of January, that God has already assigned and approved it. And now you are in the later part of the year, nothing has happened. What is coming in your mind? There is no other thing that is coming up in your mind except that God has abandoned you. I want to tell you, God has not abandoned you. In fact, God is in your case. God is in your matter. Do you know how God is in your matter? He who has kept you alive has a purpose for you. If there is no life, there is no hope. We always say the project will give you, the car will die, the house will give you, the business will give you, the prosperity will be recorded in your life. Without knowing that if you don't have life, that this prosperity, this breakthrough, this project will never be accomplished. And then man does not do any project. And that is a serious mistake. So you see, it's not that because I didn't do that project, because I didn't buy that car, because my expectations are not there, then it means that God has abandoned me. I want to tell you, a bitter sister or brother, the truth is that if God has abandoned you, you will not be on the surface of this earth. You will be seated on what you are talking about. God has not abandoned you. And that is why I tell someone today, just like Elijah that was running away, God actually meant it. He was complaining bitterly. God, what is happening? It's better to come and kill. God has not killed Elijah. God has not killed you. Jezebel will never in any way kill you. So the message I am bringing, know it, is not about the material achievement that you record that actually qualifies the presence and glory of God in your life. No. What matters is that you are actually alive. And that is why I am bringing this message to anyone that cares to hear. God has not abandoned you. Your God has not actually finished with you. This is the beginning of everything. And I tell you, whether you like it or not, it's time for you to believe that your God is doing something. And that is why I tell somebody, don't give up. God has not abandoned you. Elijah was complaining. He wanted to give up. And God said, Kulu, kulu, temper. Somebody should know it. That is the message this evening. Yet, it's not time to give up. God has not finished with you. God can never abandon you. And the mistake we do is that we want it to happen the way we want it. No, it can never happen the way we want it. And that is one good thing Elijah did. He ran back to complain to God. Although I didn't like the complaint he made. Because for me, why will he actually be scared of Jezebel? But at the same time, it's even good that he ran back to complain to God. And thank God that he actually carried out every suggestion and details given to him by God. Many of us don't even run back to God. Oh, you go to village, there is one man that does not want you to rest. The man is scrambling your land with you. The man is actually saying that if you step into that land, you will drop dead. And who is this man? Why are you afraid of this man? They said that the man is a strong occult. And for you, you will not enter that land. You run away. Forgetting one thing, that even that man might have tried you before now, but God has been protecting and preserving you. When it happens this way, what do? The next thing is suggestions, what I call diabolical advice. They come to tell you, you will get this your land back. Can you imagine? Thank God that Elijah went back. Whether you like it or not, somebody is already having a feeling that God has abandoned him or her. And what is the solution? Solution is to do what I learned from your father, Tete, the parish priest here, moving from pillar to post. They will take you to Arosi Okija here. Even if as you are not from Okita, they will take you there. Or they can come with you. They take you to Obuku. Or they go in Enugu State. It will be like that one is not working. You go to Enugu Ezike. It's like that one is not working. Yeah, you go to Habagul. And that one is not working. You come back to Ijebode. And that one is not working. They said there is one man at Okokomaiko where he gathered his own power is from an Indian temple. And that is it. Thank God that Elijah ran back to God. I say it to somebody again. Yet, whether they like it or not, this is time. Don't give up. Your God has not finished with you. Even as you feel that things are not working out, begin to thank God for the life he has given you. If you don't have life, you cannot marry. If you don't have life, you cannot bear a child. If you don't have life, you cannot have a peaceful marriage. If you don't have life, no business at all. Not to talk of business in a mofman and canada mofma. Oh, when do the good eji choma and kena mofman and canada mofma. Ebendo adi hokezin oti gesima and kena mofman and canada mofma. And you see it. If you don't have life, there is no need of saying business is doing well or is not doing well. It's only when you have life that you will be able to know that business is doing well or that the business is not doing well. My dear brothers and sisters, yes, it's good for somebody to know. Elijah went back to God, and for us to know, no matter whatever that has happened in your life in this year 2021, instead of giving up, go back to your God. Your God is waiting for you. The best approach that you use is to go in prayer. And that is why all of us have gathered to pray. And that is why also Jesus told us that pray in season and out of season. No matter whatever that has happened, Luke chapter 18 verse 1, it's time for us again to come to God in prayer. But there is something St. Augustine told us, that when we come to God in prayer, that we should actually wait for him to respond. The response to our prayer does not come from us. Rather, it comes from God. And St. Augustine will tell us that there are 3 responses that God gives us in every prayer. Before you even know whether there are 3 or 100 responses, you should be able to know that you are not the one to respond for your prayer. When you write your intentions, this is my prayer point, all of them must actually be fulfilled. That means it's your own response. It's not God's response. And that is why you see it, according to St. Augustine, the 3 responses that must come from God. One is yes, that God is saying yes, and he approves that particular prayer point. The next one is no. Many of us don't even know that God can tell you no. Whatever we present and we need from God, we want to hijack it by fire, by force. It's not that way. Do you know that Satan was actually an angel of God? How and why did he fall out? Because he was not patient enough. He was not, some people will say lawyer, but for me, he was not patient. He wanted things to be done in his own way. And that is where the problem came. And he was not able to continue with God. God can tell you no. Who does not say no? You cannot know more than God. If you don't actually expect no from God, that means you are wiser than God. My Bible tells me nobody is wiser than God. God is the wiser than the wisest. The higher than the highest. The mightier than the mightiest. The stronger than the strongest. Nobody is greater than the greatest. Nobody is wiser than God. You can never be wiser than God. He knows everything. And that is why you should know when he tells you no, there is something he is preparing in store for you. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 says that, chapter 2 from verse 9, that eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither has it entered the mind of any man or woman what God has in store for him or her. It becomes very, very clear that yet our God has planned for us. When he even says no to you, that means there is something that is actually in the pipeline. And you know when God takes time to arrange your blessing, I believe it comes out and it becomes the best. And then there are people God will say, I am neither telling you yes nor no now, but for now, wait. And that is why Psalm 40 says, I waited upon the Lord and stooped. Stooping means on bended knees. Through prayer. And that is it. You have prayed. Allow God to do his own. I waited upon the Lord, and I stooped. Do you know what Bible said in that Psalm 40? As I stooped actually to conquer. Onye ekpere bụ onye mmeri. A powerful Christian is a prayerful Christian. If you want to be victorious, you must be prayerful. And then that prayer is actually the one directed to God. So you are not the one to determine the outcome of the prayer. It is actually God. Either he says yes or no, or says wait. And if you know that you have actually sincerely prayed, you have fervently prayed, you have prayed from deepest recesses of your heart, why can't you wait? Are you God? And that is why Isaiah 40 verse 31 says that for those who wait upon the Lord, their waiting will never be in vain. He will certainly come. And when he comes, he will renew their strength. Bible is so sweet. And from verse 32 he said, those who have been crawling will begin now to walk. Those who have been walking will begin now to run. And those who have been running will fly. What can God not do? And we know it. That is actually the truth. If you don't know, I want to tell you. I know somebody who has been praying for a good job. He got that good job. And then they gave him official car. On the day he was resuming, you know, he does not know how to drive very well. But in excitement, he actually started his car, decided to drive down to the office. But his office is in Ireland. It happened in this Lagos. And when he reached Eko Bridge, he followed Sulurele going to the island. He actually died at Eko Bridge. God forbid. But I am telling you, you might, one or two might have had such a story. Somebody who has been praying for job and not getting this job, and then he ended this way. So you can see, when God does not actually answer us, you don't know what he has in mind. My own is that we cannot in any way oppose God. No, but rather we must stand with God. And the best way that we stand with God is to actually pray and leave everything unto him. And once we are prayerful, I tell you, we don't have fear of anything. Thank God that when Elijah went back to God, God told him, relax here. Jezebel will not kill you. Somebody should know it. No weapon fashioned against you shall prosper. You are a child of God. I don't know why many a times we are actually so much living in fear. Once you live in fear, your faith is totally destroyed. We must actually be strong in faith. Let's say that there is a Jezebel, or like let's say I am the Elijah of that time, and there is a Jezebel. Maybe there is one wicked woman in my village. Can that woman come to challenge me? I killed your foot soldiers and you come to challenge me. Well, I will tell you, before you, if you don't move out here, if my eye jams your own, you will actually melt. And that is it. What is actually happening. But thank God that God continued to tell Elijah, no, Jezebel will not kill you. I don't, it's not like we are testing anything. If you feel there is a charm or amulet or a calabash of omen or evil anywhere, you can call us. We can, if you want us to bring it here, we bring it. At the sight of everybody, we will raise it up tomorrow and allow it to fall here. It will break, nothing will happen. The only body that might have concocted that charm and tries to make trouble, as that charm, calabash of charm breaks, is the same way the person will definitely do what? Break. So there is no need of being afraid of anything. Our God is with us. Our God is there working for us. What do we need to do? Just like Elijah, and God instructed him. Somebody should remain in God. He has many things he's doing in your life. It's not time for you to begin to panic. Whatever you feel that is attacking you, is actually time for you to tell God, they are there. I did not do anything on my own. It is you that has actually been doing it for me. And thank God, God told Elijah, go and eat. He served him a meal. The angels brought meal. That is what we call in Catholic Church Panis Angelicum, the bread from the heaven, according to St. Thomas Aquinas. And immediately Elijah took that meal, he got strength. I tell you that many of us have lost sight of the presence of God in our life because for long God has not fed us. Our people will say, if you are whining and dining with devil, you need to use a long spoon. My dear brothers and sisters, many of us are actually whining and dining with devil. If you are whining and dining with devil, you will not have opportunity for God to serve you and give you food. And that is why James has told us that in James chapter 4 verse 8, that if we flee away from devil, devil will certainly flee away from us. If we continue to mingle with devil, then devil will have an opportunity to take over us. And before we can say jack, devil will definitely finish us. And that is why we see that God instructed Elijah, you have to eat. Thank God he ate. The presentation was made. He ate and he had strength. There are many of us today that have not eaten from God's table. There is a heavenly banquet. Everybody knows. Thank God you and I are Catholic. When last did you actually eat from the banquet of the Lord? Yet I thank God for this parish, because yesterday I found out that many people are still receiving communion. But even as there are many receiving, there may be one or two who are not actually receiving. Not that they have not done first Holy Communion, not that they are not communicant, but they cannot receive because of their relationship with God. Let us not actually